The quiet wolf doesn't chase the pack. He waits at the summit where few dare to climb. Let's cut through the static ascenders. Most men are still playing a game that's broken, chasing, performing, mimicking, hoping to be noticed. Sigma males? They unplugged a long time ago. They don't flirt. They signal. Not with cheesy lines. Not with forced confidence. With energy, presence, silence, precision. Flirting for a Sigma isn't about pursuit. It's about pull. While others throw sparks trying to ignite something, the Sigma burns from the inside. People feel it without knowing why. In this video, we break down exactly why Sigma males don't flirt like the rest, and why that's exactly why it works. Not just psychology, not just surface tricks. We're going deep into the framework, the mindset, the silent systems that make Sigmas magnetic. Ascenders, if you're ready to stop chasing and start drawing the world toward your presence. Subscribe now, not for hype, but for calibration. Let's ascend. 1. The quiet orbit effect. While most men push themselves forward to get attention, Sigma males do the exact opposite. They withdraw, creating a gravitational pull that others naturally respond to. This is what I call the quiet orbit effect. It's not loud. It's not even intentional in the traditional sense. It's a natural byproduct of having solid inner grounding. Picture a black hole. It doesn't shout. It doesn't flash. It simply pulls. That's the Sigma when he walks into a room. He doesn't need to speak first, doesn't rush to show he belongs. He is the center of his own orbit, and others feel it, consciously or not. Instead of chasing connection, he creates presence. This presence stems from self-trust, calm body language, unwavering eye contact, and deliberate movement. While others are trying to impress, he observes. While others are fidgeting, he's still. That stillness is unsettling to some and incredibly attractive to others. It communicates without words that he has nothing to prove. Most men think flirting means more effort, louder voice, more jokes, stronger gestures. Sigma males subtract, and in that subtraction create a powerful contrast. It's the silence between the notes that makes music. It's the space between words that makes communication sharp. This orbit works because most people are addicted to noise. When they meet someone who isn't, someone who listens more than talks, who doesn't need to constantly fill the air, they notice. They lean in. They're pulled into the stillness because it's rare. The Sigma knows that flirting isn't about pushing energy outward. It's about mastering the inner world so deeply that your mere presence shifts a room. That's the quiet orbit effect. You don't chase. You simply exist so powerfully that people adjust their path to come closer. The disengaged weapon. Let's be honest. 99% of men flirt because they're seeking validation. They want to be liked, approved of, or chosen. That's why it often looks desperate, over-eager, and awkward. The Sigma male doesn't engage on those terms. His biggest weapon? Disengagement. Disengagement doesn't mean apathy. It's strategic detachment. A Sigma male is rooted in one truth: I'm good with or without you. He doesn't flirt to win attention. He flirts because he feels like it, and only when the energy matches. That's powerful. People pick up on that instantly. There's no overinvestment, no performance. He could walk away at any second, and that sense of freedom makes him dangerously attractive. Because unlike others, he's not trying to convince anyone. He's simply being, and others gravitate toward that groundedness. Disengagement also disarms manipulation. When someone tries to test him, make him jealous, or bait him emotionally, they fail, because the Sigma doesn't bite. He stays calm, detached, and in control. That creates an emotional frame others find unshakable. And when you're unshakable, you become rare, and rare is always in demand. The Sigma's detachment also leads to sharper perception. He's not blinded by desire. He reads the room without needing anything from it. This lets him respond rather than react, and in that calm, measured space, he wins every time. So while other men are trying to prove their worth, Sigma males are busy living their lives. That indifference, it's not cold, it's clarity. It says, I'm not here to impress, I'm here to be real, and if you can match that, good. If not, I'll keep moving. That's why disengagement isn't just protection, it's a weapon. Used right, it creates a force field, and from that position, real attraction begins. Third mirrored mystery protocol. When most men flirt, they project. They try to shine, showing off humor, wealth, muscles, status, or stories. Sigma males, they reflect. What makes a Sigma's presence so powerful isn't what he reveals, it's what he doesn't. He mirrors the energy in front of him without revealing his own hand. That creates a layered mystery. You feel like you're being understood deeply, yet you know almost nothing about him. It's captivating. This is what I call the mirrored mystery protocol. It's not a technique, it's how a Sigma operates naturally. He listens more than he speaks. When he does speak, it's not to dominate the conversation, but to amplify what's real. He reflects the other person's mindset back to them with razor clarity. He doesn't seduce by boasting. He seduces by revealing truth, without making it about him. People walk away from a conversation with a Sigma feeling seen, understood, and a little off balance. They realize they shared a lot, while he revealed almost nothing, and yet they still want more of him. That's the mystery. The Sigma isn't hiding who he is. He just doesn't give it away freely. He's like a book with no cover and no title. You'll only understand the story if you invest enough to earn the pages. Most men try to be relatable. Sigma males remain unpredictable. Most men try to find common ground. Sigma males hold their ground. And when someone does earn their attention, it feels earned, not given for free. This flips the power dynamic. While others seek to be liked, Sigma males become the enigma that people want to decode. They don't chase, they intrigue. And in a world obsessed with oversharing, someone who stays guarded, deliberate, and hard to pin down becomes magnetic. That's the protocol, that's the pull, that's the Sigma frequency. 4. Verbal minimalism. The power of less words are cheap. Everyone's using them. That's why Sigma males use them like currency, sparingly, intentionally, with maximum return. This is verbal minimalism, and it's a deadly art. In social settings, the average guy floods the air with words trying to gain approval. Compliments, jokes, pick-up lines, all seeking response. A Sigma doesn't flood. He filters. He speaks only when the words carry weight. He doesn't talk to be liked. He speaks to be understood. That creates a rhythm that others tune into. It's not loud, it's magnetic. Every pause becomes tension, every word becomes a decision, and that makes people lean in closer, listen more deeply, and hang on to his words like they matter, because they do. This style is especially potent in flirting. Why? Because less creates mystery, less forces attention, less allows space for tension to build, and tension is the fuel of attraction. The Sigma knows the unspoken language is louder. A glance, a pause, a half smile, a simple, interesting. No explanation, no punchline, just the signal. And when he does speak directly, it cuts. His words carry precision because they haven't been diluted by noise. People sense that. They register the shift. Verbal minimalism also means no chasing. If a Sigma feels the energy drop or the interest isn't mutual, he doesn't escalate. He exits, silently, gracefully. He understands that real charisma isn't in the amount you say. It's in how real your words feel. This is the opposite of the loud, high-energy alpha display. This is power through presence, restraint, and clarity. While others talk, the Sigma commands. And in that silence, attraction brews like fire under ice. 5. Signal through contrast. Most guys try to flirt by blending in with what's considered cool. They copy what works. Sigma males don't blend. They contradict. They move in contrast. This is what I call signal through contrast. In a room full of men performing, trying to be funnier, louder, more charming, the Sigma does the opposite. He does less. And that disruption becomes his signal. He doesn't need to be seen to feel real. He doesn't force presence. He doesn't raise his volume to compete. He simply stands apart. That contrast is not just visual. It's energetic. His calm disrupts noise. His slow pace challenges the rush. His lack of interest questions everyone else's desperation. And that subtle rebellion, people notice. When you don't play the game, you become the game changer. This contrast also applies to how he dresses, speaks, and reacts. He might not wear what's flashy, but he wears what aligns. He might not chase the joke, but when he speaks, it lands. And when others are losing their cool, he remains calm, an unmoved object in a chaotic room. That visual and emotional contrast makes people curious. Why is he so still? Why doesn't he need to prove himself? Why does he seem detached but centered? And here's the thing, Sigma males aren't trying to be different. They just refuse to fake it. That authenticity automatically creates contrast because most people are faking everything. The world is filled with loud copycats. But the Sigma, he walks in quiet contradiction, and that makes him stand out without effort. 6. Silent validation reversal. Flirting usually follows one script. I'm here to impress you. Please validate me. The Sigma flips that entirely. He doesn't chase your approval. He makes you question why you want his. This is the silent validation reversal. How does he do it? He doesn't beg. He doesn't perform. He doesn't adjust his personality based on who's watching. He holds a calm, subtle authority that makes people instinctively ask themselves, why do I want him to like me? Why do I care what he thinks? This is power, not in words, but in presence. He creates a feeling of scarcity. His attention is not automatic. His compliments are rare. So when they do come, they hit with the impact of gold in a world of plastic. The Sigma never floods people with flattery. He observes. He measures. If he says something nice, it's because he actually means it, not because he's trying to get something in return. This reversal changes the dynamic completely. The Sigma isn't in the position of the applicant. He becomes the interviewer, silently assessing the energy and character of everyone around him. That flips attraction on its head. People sense it. They sense that his validation isn't easy to earn, and suddenly they start chasing it. They laugh a little harder at his dry comments. They look for signs of interest. They try to prove they're worth his time. And all of that without him trying. That's the magic of reversed validation. He doesn't ask for connection, he filters it. Even when someone flirts with him, the Sigma doesn't immediately bite. He pauses, watches, maybe gives a brief smile, maybe says nothing. That moment of restraint, that's the trap being set. In a society where everyone's oversharing and over-chasing, a man who controls his validation, who gives it only when deserved, becomes powerful. And that power pulls. 7. Cold flame technique. The Sigma male is the paradox. He's warm enough to approach, cold enough to respect. That balance, approachable yet untouchable, is what makes him irresistible. It's what I call the cold flame technique. Most men go all in when flirting, too available, too eager, too open. Sigma males, they stay in the middle, just warm enough to draw you in, just cold enough to keep you guessing. He gives glimpses of interest, a slight smirk, a sharp question, a well-timed compliment, but he never lays it all out. There's always a slight chill in his energy. That chill creates tension. He doesn't over-validate. He doesn't tell you what you want to hear. He keeps it real, sometimes even brutally honest. And that honesty becomes a form of seduction. People are drawn to warmth, but they respect coldness. The Sigma combines both. He's not mean, he's measured. He doesn't freeze you out, but he doesn't melt either. And that's key, because once you make someone too comfortable, they stop chasing. The Sigma keeps the edge, the ambiguity. You never quite know where you stand, and that uncertainty becomes the fire. This technique also protects his value. He never gives away full access too fast. He understands that mystery is maintained through emotional pacing. He doesn't rush into deep connection. He lets it unfold slowly, on his terms. And when he finally opens up, when he shows deeper emotion or affection, it hits 10 times harder, because you know it's real, you know it's earned. And that's what sets him apart from the noise. 8. Non-verbal chess moves words can lie. Body language doesn't. And the Sigma knows this, which is why his greatest form of flirting is often non-verbal. This is what I call the non-verbal chess game. From the moment he walks into a room, he's playing it, but not for attention, for observation. He scans the room, not with desperation, but with calculated calm. He doesn't move fast. He doesn't look around frantically. He's steady, composed. His body language speaks volumes. Posture that says, "I'm not here for approval." Movements that are slow, deliberate, and controlled. Eye contact that isn't needy, it's diagnostic. And then there's silence. Silence is his favorite move. He uses it the way a samurai uses a sword, rarely but precisely. He'll sit in a pause longer than most people can handle. He lets silence stretch, creating unspoken pressure. Others crack under that silence. The Sigma thrives in it. His eye contact isn't about domination, it's about filtration. He's not trying to intimidate. He's trying to see who can hold the gaze, who can stand in stillness without flinching. This creates moments of tension that don't need any words, and tension, when unbroken, becomes attraction. It's the difference between being interesting and being unforgettable. The Sigma also mirrors body language without trying. He adapts posture, tone, pace, not to manipulate, but to build subconscious alignment. People feel more connected to him without knowing why. In this chess game, every move is deliberate. And while others are trying to win hearts with noise, the Sigma wins with presence. 9. The hidden frame. I don't need you to like me. This is where the Sigma male's power becomes untouchable. His entire approach to interaction, flirting included, comes from one hidden psychological frame. I don't need you to like me. It's not arrogance. It's not bitterness. It's sovereignty. This internal script shapes everything he says, doesn't say, does, or avoids. While most guys act based on how they want to be perceived, the Sigma acts from internal alignment. His decisions are not dictated by others' opinions, and that is magnetic. When someone meets a man who doesn't need to be liked, it short-circuits their social programming. We're used to people trying to impress, trying to gain favor, trying to please. But the Sigma? He doesn't bend. He doesn't smooth out his edges to make others comfortable. He's kind, but not performative. He's grounded, but never submissive. He's honest, even when it risks discomfort. And that level of self-assuredness draws people in because it signals authentic confidence, the kind you can't fake. This frame also protects him from being manipulated. He can't be guilt-tripped, peer-pressured, or emotionally baited, because he's not looking for external validation in the first place. And in flirting, this frame makes his presence addictive, because when you're not trying to be liked, you give others the space to prove themselves to you. You reverse the chase. Even when attraction is mutual, the Sigma doesn't rush. He's not emotionally hungry. He knows that desire without self-respect leads to weakness. So he holds his ground, not because he's aloof, but because he has inner structure. That structure becomes a magnet for anyone who's used to chasing unreliable, approval-hungry energy. With the Sigma, They don't get a performance, they get truth, and that truth is rare. 10. I could walk away. Energy. There's something unnerving about a person who's fully present, yet can disappear at any moment. That's what makes the Sigma's energy so potent. He's there, yes, but he can walk away at any second without looking back, and everyone feels it. This is the I could walk away energy. It's not a threat, it's a posture, a psychological readiness to disconnect if the situation stops serving truth. And that readiness creates immense value. Most people cling in relationships to comfort, validation, or fear of loss. The Sigma doesn't. He values connection, but he values freedom more. He doesn't emotionally anchor to outcomes. He's not fantasizing about a future. He's not getting attached to ideas or expectations. He's rooted in now, and only now. That's what gives his presence that electric edge. Because when you're with someone who doesn't need to stay, yet still chooses to, every moment feels intentional. This kind of detachment doesn't make him cold, it makes him dangerously grounded. People know they can't manipulate him with attention, drama, or seduction, and ironically that makes them want him more. Scarcity increases value. The Sigma is never emotionally desperate, so his attention is always scarce. And when someone feels it might disappear, they value it more. This energy also means he's not afraid to end things, conversations, dates, connections, if they stop aligning. He doesn't explain himself. He doesn't need closure. He just walks. And that's the paradox. The person who can leave is often the one everyone wants to stay. Ascenders. This isn't a flirting guide, it's a blueprint for becoming undeniably magnetic without selling out who you are. Sigma males don't play for applause, they don't broadcast desire, they don't bend for the spotlight. They flirt with presence, they seduce with mystery, they attract with freedom. If you're tired of tactics and tricks and ready to embody something more lethal, more still, more unbothered, you're already halfway there. You don't need to act Sigma. You need to unlearn everything that isn't you. If you felt this transmission, if it hit you where words usually don't, subscribe now, not for more content, but because you recognize the signal. Until next time, stay sharp, stay distant, keep ascending.